and we are in business. The business of making streams.
It
And
is a business, isn't it?
how are you in terms of tiredness this time?
I'm good.
I think I'm good too.
That's fantastic.
How am I remembering this case? Not very well. But I know we're about to meet Herlock Sholmes.
That's great, isn't it?
Oh my god. Oh, it wasn't Sholmes' home. Hey, Vagabond. My Sherlock voice is getting there. I just need to read a Sherlock voice, like line, and then I'll get it. My Columbo is sorely lacking though.
Thank you very much. It's just up there overlooking the street. Good day. Thanks again. This is it. The residence of Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
I'm glad we can just walk in. 19th February,
Yeah, no
12:53
questions.
p.m. Sholmes is like he's probably a celebrity of some sort, so
So he's expecting people to go into his house all the time? Celebrity for making all the wrong deductions.
this is where the great detective makes his living. It feels surreal to be here somehow.
That's not a mess.
Is it as described in the stories, Miss Susato? Susato-san?
Many famous cases have been solved here in this very room.
Oh! I suppose they must have been, yes. I've never read the story, so it's hard to get quite as excited about it as she seems to be.
The detective chases the villain relentlessly as he disappears into a fog down an unlit London street. Oh, the thrill of it! The romanticism! Can't you feel your heart thumping in your chest? Can't you, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, thank you, Vagabond. I suppose I can, yes.
So, if you don't mind,
Achievement hunting is the one exception to the no backseating.
I'll just stand here and soak up the atmosphere for a while longer. Please, don't mind me.
She's obsessed. Well, looks like our detective friend isn't home at present, which just makes this all the weirder. Excuse me.
I mean, how did I just enter
Is it
without...
Oh, do we have a visitor? Oh shit.
Hello! Is it a big new case for Mr. Sholmes?
Hello? Wait. Aren't you...
Oh, how rude of me! I'll go and make some tea at once.
I'm sure it's the same girl. Yeah, the girl from Mavlov. Miss Susato, did you see that girl who was just here?
Oh, yes. Isn't it truly extraordinary? To think that the King of Bohemia came to this very room to ask Mr. Sholmes to take on his case.
The King of Bohemia?
King Wilhelm of course.
Gottfried Sigismund von Ornstein.
Ornstein, yeah, Ornstein. We know that
Ornstein!
one.
Where's Smog? Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Forget the adventures of Herlock Sholmes for a moment and look over there.
The teen spirit. I have a freshly baked cake as well. Ah, it's you!
Well, Vagabond, not only Susamon, but think of who said that line. Enough said. I knew it. Sus Arto, son, recognizes her too. Ah, there you go. Oh wait, that was her line.
I'm taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to the trial round of my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine.
Right, you didn't need to look at it. You're the inventor of this particular device. It's the girl who turned up at the end of Mr. McGilden's trial in the defendant's antechamber.
I've never met a lawyer from the Far East before. Who are you, having to get straight to work when you've only just arrived in London?
Oh, yes, it was challenging.
Well, try this tea. It's my special blend, you know. Poisoned it.
Oh, thank you. Is tea supposed to look that color?
Oh my, what a fragrance yet mellow flavor. Hooray! It's a winner! I tried blending different leaves designed to alleviate fatigue, you see. You must be exhausted after your long voyage here, and you have another ticklish trial tomorrow. Oh, and you're to defend the Japanese men. I do wish you lots and lots of luck. Did Mr. Sholmes tell you about us by any chance? Oh, you know Hurley, do you?
Oh, the lost character in Weezer album. Hurley? Mr. Sholmes to you, surely.
Mr. Sholmes was a fellow passenger on the boat that brought us to Great Britain, you see. Was he really? Well, I had no idea. I'm afraid Hurley is out on an errand again today, even though he's just returned from overseas.
Wait a minute. We met this girl for the first time ever yesterday after the trial, and only briefly at that. How on earth does she know so much about us? Did she deduce all those things, do you think? A woman solving
And perhaps more
puzzles?
to the point? I mean, Susato has been doing that the whole time.
Ryunosuke might not have realized that though. He's not smart enough.
Where? Where is she here in Mr. Sholmes' suit? Sweet. I mean, I think he's alluded to that several times. Oh, silly me. I haven't introduced myself, have I?
Oh my god.
It's a great pleasure to meet you both. My name is Iris Wilson!
You know what they
Wonder
say,
why her hair is pink.
even with the devils of time against you, never let the fire fade in you.
I live here together with Hurley!
Oh, you haven't seen I2, have you yet?
I too?
Either Somnium 2.
I mean, I've seen a bit of what you played.
Oh yeah, that's right, yes. Okay.
Just,
Ah.
yeah.
Iris, is it? What a lovely name.
What?
What's the matter?
No, wait. This can't be.
Anyway, the important thing is
I have Somnium Files.
the important thing to note is that in Somnium Files 2, Iris is canonically a Fortnite gamer.
Did you say that your name is Wilson?
Like the volleyball. What's the matter with Suzaru-san? Why is she so flustered all of a sudden?
Yes, that's right. And what are your names?
Oh, I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo, a lawyer from Japan.
Oh, sorry. I'm Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Suzato Mikotoba. It's wonderful to meet you. Lovely. Susie and Runa. Got it. Susie?
Sussy. And Runo? We don't
Runo
talk about
Mars.
we don't talk about Runo. There's more to this girl than meets the eye. I have so many questions for her. I don't know where to start.
Yes, and so do I.
Get this out of the way. Ah, I've seen pictures of Western musical instruments like this. It's called a violin, isn't it?
No, it's a violin.
Well, yeah, that's like it should be a bit. Is if he's clearly saying a word that he's never really experienced, he doesn't know how to pronounce it.
Of course it is. Mr. Schultz is renowned for his violin playing.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. It's often explained in stories. It's inspirational, Mr. Naruhodo. Inspirational! I immediately started playing the koto, which was the closest Japanese stringed instrument I could find.
What a shame you couldn't bring it with you to London.
But where are the best pies in London? Oh yes, well... Papa was beaming when I asked him if he would buy me one. But after a while, he asked if I would only practice when he was out of the house. So now it's merely an ornament in my room.
I don't know if it's visible on the webcam, but there's a fly that keeps flying past my face, and it's really distracting me. There it is.
Nice.
I'm just hoping it kind of leaves the room. That must have been an awkward conversation. Anyway. Okay, so there's no umbrellas in here, so we're safe. What on earth is this huge, over-the-top machine?
That's the great Anamscope. It can analyze anything, really. Anything at all. That's absolutely incredible.
In any case, if you see my eyes dart in weird ways, that's why.
It's one of Hurley's inventions. It took him a whole year. He said it was to help him with his investigations. What sort of things has he analyzed of it? Do you know? Well, actually, he hasn't used it for anything yet. Oh,
Why not?
apparently, on the evening he finally completed it, it suddenly occurred to him. I don't actually have anything I need to analyze. Except for my humongous ego. Oh dear.
She's got a big head too. Oh, not really.
How about you, Bruno? Do you have anything you'd like to analyze?
The only thing that springs to mind is this machine itself. Bada bing. Okay, I'm not gonna. Maths?
Ah, that's my blackboard where I note down ideas.
Ooh,
The
interesting.
entire room just looks filled with stuff.
Let's see. It's it's like the room in the second Ace Attorney trilogy. It's just filled with lots of Trucy. Is it Trucy or Trudy? I think it's Trucy. And all of her magician shit. Black Peter? What does that mean? It is, yeah, that's what I thought.
Don't you want to hear what Iris has to say, Mr. Naruhodo?
I'll come back to that blackboard later. I'll never forget that levitating spaghetti fall. Actually, hang on. Alright. ASAP. Could I show you this?
You bet. Oh, how exciting! What is it? Tell me all about it.
We're gonna play Patty Cake. Oh, actually, I was hoping you might be able to tell me something about it, if anything comes to mind.
Why would I? Why would it?
Well, no. I suppose it would.
Tell me! I want to hear everything.
This hasn't gone according to plan. It was you we ran into yesterday, wasn't it? At the Old Bailey.
Yes, that's right. You were ever so helpful. Thank you so much. Oh no, not at all. I'm so sorry we couldn't have been more welcoming.
No, at the time we did have a rather large gun pointed at us.
Like this? Ah, thinking back now, you left with Miss Lestrade in town, didn't you?
Toe.
I'm not sure,
It's
to be
Toe.
honest.
Oh yes, that awkward witness, Gina Lestrade.
Oh, Jenny? Yes, she's a professional pickpocket.
So we found out.
It was very naughty of her to pinch my invention like that. Oh, phrasing.
Are you referring to that trial disrupting gun-like contraption?
Exactly! So I followed her, you see, to get it back. Perhaps I should think about fitting a self-destruct mechanism in my inventions.
This girl's
Oh, dear.
dangerous.
Anyway, I brought Jenny back here after that. So she could apologize to my trusty technician.
Sorry, your technician?
Hurley, of course. Silly. Hurley. Yes, Harlock shows. We live together.
That's very normal. I had no idea the great detective had such an interesting young daughter.
Daughter? Not likely.
What?
I wouldn't call him Hurley if he was my father, would I? Well then, what is your relationship with Mr. Sholmes? Well, I expect you found out that lodgings of any kind in London are very expensive.
Oh, I can't believe Ace Attorney is commenting on the housing market.
So the solution is to share the cost of a partner, a roommate.
Hey, Camille. What's up? Your roommates?
I hope you don't mind me asking, Iris, but how old are you? Are you French? 10 at last this year?
Well, what of your mother and father? Oh, yeah. I did know there's getting to be quite a backlog in the Fury speedrun. I might do something about it. But Jimmy Jam did say he was going to do them. I've been considering looking into that promenade stuff, but I think I'll stay out of it for now.
Oh no, they're not around.
Oh, I see. I wonder what the story is there. It wouldn't be nice to Nerdy Fox to steal another world record from him.
Oh yes, there's something I must ask you. Of course. Go ahead, Susie.
Maybe I should do Onimusha Promenade. Then I don't have to update my game.
I'm a very great fan of the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes and... Oh, you have a copy of Rance magazine! Jeez, I cannot get her voice down.
It sounds different from Sonata, so that's enough.
Yes, I've read every issue. It's delivered all the way to Japan on a ship. Oh, this is so exciting! My stories are being read on the other side of the world!
My stories?
Well done. That's right. Hurley is always solving such amazing cases, you see, and he tells me all about them. They really are quite fascinating.
Are we talking to Iris Conan Doyle? Because damn, that possible like title I was gonna give for the stream, weirdly prescient.
You mean really pointing it? Would be such a shame if I was the only one who ever heard them, don't you think?
Nice job, also. I've not experienced enough in Promenade to like know what the standards are, but if you're setting PBs, you're doing good.
Goodness. Last night, he was telling me all about a new case he just solved on a steamship, traveling from a faraway land. So I was just in the middle of tying up the manuscript for the next issue before you came. So you are the author. Yes, I'll let you in on secret if you like. I'm going to call the latest adventure The Speckled Band. Of course.
The Speckled Band? That's certainly very familiar.
Of course, I always change one or two details in story, here and there.
I'm gonna make it in a rich person's house, and there's gonna be a snake.
And there's obviously going to be a culprit. This time, I had the idea of making a venomous snake be the cause of all the trouble.
Oh, that was Mr. Shone's first thought as well, actually.
Yes, and of course I know that a snake might not be a credible fit for the facts of the case exactly, but... It's a story. Some poetic license is justified to make it more thrilling, I think. Don't you?
I really admire the way they are lovingly dunking on Sherlock Holmes whenever they get the chance.
So, do you mean to say... Are the stories about Mr. Sholmes that are published in Rand's magazine all written by me? Yes! On my wonderful and very modern typewriter. But all the stories I've ever read are written by a doctor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson.
Susato-san's getting more and more worked up.
Ah, yes, that's me. I mean, my name really is Wilson. But what about the doctor of medicine part? That's true too. I'm a doctor of medicine.
No! At 10 years old?
At 10 years old. Actually, she's not quite there yet, right?
No, she said she finally
She said
got
she'll
10
be
this
10.
year, didn't she?
Ah, okay.
Then again, it's quite early in the year, so... I don't know. Well, that's quite incredible. But then also the implications of these stories have been going on for a while.
But... Dr. Wilson is an English gentleman. Ah, yes. I did alter the setting slightly for the stories to be more compelling. Oh! Well, it sounds a little strange, doesn't it? A great detective with a 10-year-old girl in tow. Toe?
Sure, go for
Question
it.
mark. I'm giving up on this. I suppose it does, yes.
Poor Susato-san. She looks like her whole world has just fallen apart. Exactly. Potato, potato. About before. Potato! You know, boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Do tell me.
How
Not
did you
about
know
potatoes.
that I was a lawyer and we just arrived in London? I mean...
Yes. Oh, and that we have a difficult trial tomorrow. How did you know all of that? Oh, that's what you mean. Please tell us how you did it. Explain every detail. Of course, I'd be delighted, although there really is no mystery.
I don't know if I'm misremembering other Ace Attorney games, but it's weird that we're in Case 4 or Chapter 4 and it's so chipper.
Now, let's begin.
Maybe because we haven't seen anyone murdered yet. Or... we have, but not...
Iris Wilson is proud to present her logic and reasoning spectacular.
What?
First of all, I knew already that you were a lawyer, Runa. After all, I met you yesterday at the Old Bailey in the defendant's antechamber.
But you also said we'd only just arrived in London. How'd you know that?
I observed a passport and travel ticket protruding from your breast pocket.
Oh.
So I was reasonably confident that you must have only just arrived in the country. And on top of that, you accepted a case against a particular prosecutor, telling me you were unaware of London's court affairs.
The Reaper of the Bailey. I walked right into that one, didn't I?
Then I noticed a red ink stamp on the back of Susie's hand. You were given that when you visited the local prison to meet the suspect, weren't you?
I'm glad you
Earlier
can get a
today.
stamp so you can get back in the prison.
It's kind of weird. Ah! Oh wait, that's the wrong one. They use those stamps to keep a close eye on comings and goings, you see. Now she explains it. I didn't realize. And the red stamp, it's only used for people visiting foreign inmates. So that told me that even though you had only yesterday concluded the trial of Magnus McGilded, the two of you had already had cause to visit a foreign inmate at a local prison. However, neither of you was wearing a particularly sad expression on your face. So I concluded that the prisoner was unlikely to be a friend or a relative. That led me to believe that you must have accepted a new case.
I see.
But how could you have known that the trial is tomorrow?
I didn't. You just told me.
Well, having barely been home a few hours yesterday, Hurley solved yet another case. It obviously amused him. He told me that he had caught a Japanese man who was bawling and trembling.
A Japanese man? Well, clearly that must have been...
Mr. Natsume. Now, Bruno has that fancy Japanese sword. And I think your outfit is called a kimono, isn't it, Susie? Well, anyway, it was clear to me that you both came home from Japan yourselves. I can speak, I swear. So I put two and two together and decided you must be defending the Japanese man Hurley caught. And there was only one conclusion those facts could lead me to. You both came here to ask Hurley about the case. There's a note on the mantelpiece that says that the man's trial will be tomorrow. Hurley's always stabbing his notes with a knife, you know. He's silly. In more ways than one. And that's all there was to it, really. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. I'm Iris Wilson, and that was one of my great deductions.
Oh, does she? I don't think I noticed that vagabond. Is sprite technically the right word in this case? Models? Animations? I don't know.
Well, was it a winner? Were my deductions correct?
They were spot on. Why aren't you the lawyer?
That was amazing, Iris. Truly a great deduction.
You even managed to the certain something of Mr. Showham's delivery.
Oh, well, I was just copying Hurley's style for that. This is really very good news. You could tell us all about the case involving the Japanese man. You will, won't you, Iris? Please.
So yesterday, Mr. Showham's apprehended a Japanese man, you were saying.
Yes. Hurley had just arrived back in London after his sea voyage. But the police are waiting for him at the railway station to take him directly to the crime scene.
Ah, the great detective is a popular man, it seems.
Apparently, a woman was stabbed on a quiet street somewhere in town. There were witnesses who had seen a short, shifty-looking, stooped man running away from the scene. Short, shifty, stooped man.
Mr. Natsumi, beyond any doubt. Sasuke did say he didn't see anyone else on the street at all. It seems there were witnesses after all.
Hurley used his great detective powers to determine the man's address. It was a lodging room, very nearby. He went directly there with the police, and what did they find? A short, shifty-looking, stooped man, shivering in fear.
Mr. Sholmes' great deduction certainly hit the mark that time.
Of course it did. He's a great detective. For some
Still-
reason, I read that as a great dickhead. I was like, wait, that's not possible in a story.
Still, that means the incident occurred only 2 days ago. Surely tomorrow was too soon for the trial, isn't it? Oh no, this is Ace's turning.
Definitely. We have no time to investigate properly.
If anything, it's too late.
Hurley says that London is rife with crime. And we can also find the best spies in London.
What is that a reference to?
Sweeney Todd.
Ah, I don't know what. Oh,
Scotland Yard is doing its best, but they can't stay on top of it apparently. Good movie, by the way. Recommended.
Hmm.
Oh dear. Hadn't realized the situation was so dire. That's why he can't afford to spend too much time investigating cases and trying the criminals in court. Staff and money are both short. Crimes are usually pinned on the first suspicious person. That's terrible. I suppose it's a harsh reality of the workings of the world's greatest justice system.
I suppose it is. In that case, I don't hold as much hope for Sasuke-san.
Sasuke-san.
Yeah, I know. I realized it after I said it. Thank you for answering
Suspicious.
so many of our questions, Iris. This has been very informative.
Enjoy your Shovel Forest stream. Oh, you're most welcome. I've had so much fun playing Shovel Forge.
Let's put together Shovel Forge with me. Do you happen to know where Mr. Sholmes is at the moment? When the old is away and again about fate, as you guess, we'd like to ask him some questions about this case as well, and
Oh well. I expect Hurley is still investigating the scene.
of the case involving Mr. Natsume.
Yes, Mr. Natsume? Hurley said he was going to the man's lodgings. If you leave now, you'll probably catch him there. Iris, do you know where those lodgings are? Well, I imagine police are still investigating the scene of the crime themselves, aren't they? Did you happen to come across a detective by the name of Gregson when you were there?
Yes, we know Inspector Gregson.
Oh, goody. In that case... Give Grexy this for me, would you?
Now that's Among Us. Or
Is it?
rather, I have brain rot and I see a silver circle on a red rectangle, and that's Among Us.
If you do that, I'm sure he'll tell you what you want to know.
What is this? Is it? What is
5
this?
shilling piece in a postcard, it seems.
Like, it's not Among Us red, I'll give you that, but it's reddish. Oh my god, it's a clue!
It reads, "Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem."
Yeah, I can see the argument for it being pink. It's just like it depends on what you compare it to, because like you could say it as like it's red, but in light that makes it look lighter.
Gosh, this will make the inspector help us, will it?
Well, thank you, Iris. We'll give it a try.
Good luck then. I'm going to return to writing my manuscript, The Speckled Band. And I'll be making more special blends of tea, so come back soon. We'll be delighted. Thank you so much, Iris. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, it's back to the scene of the crime.
So, somewhat sus that would exert. I can hear myself again. Exert any influence over the men of Scotland Yard at all. We headed back to the scene.
Funny
Iris.
wonder why that is.
Curious. I don't know why it happens sometimes. Loud! See, I do it then and I don't hear anything. With Iris's curious note and one of the world's heaviest silver coins in hand. To be continued. I've got 0.8% drop frame. Oh, 1.2. Maybe it's not just you. I'm not sure. I've got a green square though. Wait, did I just get an achievement? Something popped up in the corner then. No. February, 2:38 PM, Briar Road. It looks as though the police are still here, carrying on with their investigation.
Perfect. So let's find Inspector Gregson as quickly as possible.
Yes, and let's see if he'll take a break from his chips. Or, sorry, from his chili. To take a look at that silver tip Iris gave us. Inspector Gregson, do you have a moment? I'm sorry to say I don't. I'm a very busy man. Much too busy to talk to a pair of foreign gadabouts, that's for sure.
We have these for you. Present from Miss Iris Wilson.
You know, I was so distracted by the Among Us thing that I didn't even see what that was. Okay, it's just a postcard that's a message and it says, "Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem." Iris's little handwriting is adorable, isn't it?
Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem.
Yes, the handwriting might be adorable, but the message is Ominous. There's no room for sentiment there.
I'm sure it's simply the way you're interpreting it, Mr. Naruhodo. Anyway, I do hope the inspector will tell us what we need to know when he reads it.
You don't think it'll just make him munch piping hot chili until steam comes out of his ears, do you?
Well, that wouldn't be an entirely terrible outcome.
What? For me? For her ladyship? Her ladyship? Give that here. At once! Come on, hand it over. That's for me. Ah. Don't wait for me to give it to you, will you? What was that coin exactly? It's a silver crown, obviously, but it's a lot more than that. It's, well, it's an appearance fee, that's what it is.
Oh, appearance fee? An appearance fee? I see. You mean...
That's right. For the adventures of Herlock Sholmes. Her ladyship always offers me a little financial reward for featuring me. Every time.
Yes, of course. I know all about your exploits, Inspector. I read them already.
Avidly.
Of course.
Of course. Her using my name without my say, so... does make me the butt of a lot of unpleasant jokes, but still. I'm sorry, Inspector, that must be difficult for you. Never mind you that! So, what do you want to know about then, eh? Sorry? Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem, it says. Well, obviously it's not a problem. Go on, fire away! What do you want to know?
Well, if you wouldn't mind, Inspector, I'd very much like to know the address of Mr. Natsume's lodgings.
Ah, little knife-wielding moustache. Japanese fellow. He lives in a right old hovel. It's just over here, look. On the first floor of that house in the corner where the wreck of a bicycle is propped up.
That is nearby indeed.
If I remember rightly, the landlord is a Mr. John Garadeb. Right, well, if you see her again, you make sure you give her ladyship my regards. Queen, Victoria. I mean it. You tell her that Gregson sends his very best wishes. Don't worry, Inspector, we will. Goodbye for now, then, and long live her ladyship.
Well, at least he told us what we wanted to know before he left.
Yes, so then, shall we go and see what we find in Mr. Natsume's lodgings? Oh my god, we're gonna break into another house.
I mean, did we really break into the house, though?
I cannot confirm or deny.
Exactly.
Assume the worst.
Definitely.
February 19th, Mr. Natsume's lodgings.
May I help you?
Ah, yes. Would this be the residence of Mr. John Garadeb?
And who may I say is calling?
My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I am...
Mr. Naruhodo is representing Mr. Soseki Natsume. I believe he takes lodgings here. We would very much like to ask him some questions about our client. One moment, please. I shall convey the message to Mr. Garrido.
Did you see that, Mrs. Zato? That was a real-life English maid.
I know. As I understand it, anyone of standing in English society employs a number of household staff. But that was the first time I've ever seen one in the flesh. Oh, this day just keeps getting better.
It certainly feels like we've really arrived now, doesn't it?
We need only to meet a butler, and the experience will be complete.
Well, I'm not sure I'd go that far, but I understand the sentiment. Oh. You know, I'd love to get a photo of a butler. I think my wife would get a real kick out of that.
What?
Don't worry.
Thank you for waiting. Mr. Garrett, I will see you now. This way.
Oh my god. Look at that shape.
Are we shape-shaming now?
No, complimenting. He's like,
What is on his cannon?
yeah, I was wondering that. He's like Sissel from, Ghost Trick. No, that's not. That's a full-size cannon! What's it doing here?
Oh my, it's real. Thought it might be a replica.
Of course it's real, it's canon.
No, stop.
That whole thing? That's a little more than a toy.
Oh my god, he's a moon face.
Oh my god, Vagabond is right. Sorry. The army was selling it off when I retired, so I decided to give it a new home. Never know when the enemy might attack next. Jolly useful to have a cannon about the house. Really? It isn't overkill? Oh. Oh. You know, I can't get to sleep. I think about the implications of diving in too deep and possibly the complications. Be prepared, I always say. You never know what the twisted world is gonna throw at you next, boy.
Do you think there may be trouble brewing, Mr. Garrida?
Always is. Take Joan here. Never fails to have a clean apron in reserves. Dries them over barrel, you see. They dry very well on the cannon there, Joan tells me. Which rather proves my point, I feel. It's been reduced to a drying rack. No wonder the huge cannon looks its head in shame. I don't think cannons can do that. They lack a neck.
That looks like a Medal of Honor, and it's showcased on a very grand banner.
Yes, it's displayed with some pride, I would say. Although it bothers me that it's not straight. Oh, okay. What? That old thing? Sorry? I should be glad to see the back of it, but the general would turn in his grave if I disposed of it. The wall's the best place for it, keeps the barley thing out of my way. So it's just been polished to shine by accident, I suppose.
There appears to be an inscription in the middle itself. Look. Let me see. It says, for distinguished participation.
Oh my god, participation medals. Sounds like the kind of honors even I could be in line for. Well, one doesn't like to blow one's own trumpet, but I was given that for my time in the army. Can't measure an officer by the number of medals to his name, of course. Common knowledge in the military circles. That uniform looks fairly ancient, doesn't it?
It's clearly been well looked after, though.
That old thing? Pah! Not much better than rags, really. Oh? Wore that ceremonial garb as my retirement bash, you know. But I'm not one for dwelling on the past, me. Would have gladly thrown it out. But you know how it is. Anyway, doesn't hurt to have the odd piece of memorabilia lying about, does it?
Oh, I see.
Perhaps we should leave the past in the past. I notice you have a pile of books here, Mr. Garradeb. Do you enjoy reading? Ever experience a London winter, boy? The nights are long. No better way to pass the time than in front of the fire with a jolly good book.
Oh, there's a copy of Brand's magazine here, I see. No doubt Mr. Garradeb enjoys the adventures of Sherlock Holmes too.
People say no. The great detective has a great many followers, it would seem. Alright. Look at this crockery on display here. It's rather unusual, isn't it?
Oh my! A genuine London dresser. Isn't it delightful? Although the shells seem to be broken and the crockery is... Oh dear, it's in pieces!
Oh no, please don't make us super glue it back together. Oh, sorry. It really is. The word cracked wouldn't do that Chinaware justice.
Ah, I wonder. I wonder. Perhaps the cannon was fired at it.
Yes, probably something like that. But let's not delve too deeply here.
Oh, look! What a wonderful collection of cakes lined up on the gleaming silver cake stand.
Lined up? It looks more like something one that has half demolished to me.
Afternoon tea is a time of indulgence, you know. It is quite the English way. It is Mr. Garradeb's custom to take 2 cakes with his tea. How does he say so stick thin? That sounds delightful.
Oh, wait a minute though. There are at least 10 cakes on this cake stand.
Well, naturally. And it would never do to waste the leftovers. So whatever Mr. Garradeb doesn't eat, I say to myself, Joan, you shall have to tidy up. Oh, wow.
How magnanimous of you.
Look at that enormous screen. Must have been put there deliberately, surely.
Yes, it certainly seems like someone's trying to hide something from view. What could be behind it? I wonder. I wonder. Kana.
I'm going to have a very quick look. Just a little peek. Ahem.
Maybe let's not, Miss Cisato. I think the maid is going to hit us off with a cup of tea.
Ahem.
day to you. John Garridab at your service.
Pleased to meet you, sir. This is Rinosuke Naruhodo. He's a defense lawyer. Why does he need to be introduced by her all the time?
Do excuse me not getting up. Took a shot to the knee a few years back in the Battle of Maiwand, you know, I used to be a great adventurer once. Earned a medal for my pains, but I had to withdraw from the service. Handed over the reins to the up-and-comings.
After taking an arrow to the knee.
So he's a retired soldier. It's a hell of a job getting up and down stairs now. I can tell you, don't get much out much, as you may imagine. It's quite a climb up here for the second floor, isn't it? I was panting at the top of the stairs.
You really must take more exercise, Mr. Naruhodo.
Do you think so?
Well, Mr. Garida, no doubt you were very courageous to earn yourself a medal.
Oh, it was nothing. The medal's just a folderol, really. Wouldn't like to offend the general, though. So I begrudgingly displayed it on the wall. Why don't you fetch it down, Joan? Let these good people see it properly. Joan, fetch the... dash it all, woman! Be careful!
Oh, dearie me! I do beg your pardon, sir.
You jolly nearly took the skin off me hands!
I shall be more careful, sir.
So anyway, there you have it. Living the quiet life now. Yes, I see. Now then, I hear you want to know about the chap lodging downstairs, is that alright?
Yes, we would be very grateful if you could answer some questions for us. For free.
Only two, please, naturally, especially if it helps to keep the peace here in Blighty. Blighty Town? We forged an alliance with the Empire of Japan recently, as I'm sure you're aware. So this case is very much in the public eye, as it were. Oh, is it? Even had some famous detective poking around, you know, in this old house, would you believe?
Yes, Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Could have been. Didn't catch the chap's name. Not really my cup of tea, all that detective business.
Oh, but you have a copy of Rand's magazine here, so...
Ah? No. Sweating.
Anyway, the chap's investigating the foreigner's room as we speak. Is he stirring his tea
Yes.
with his pipe?
So he's in Sasuke-san's room. I mean, if he's gonna suck on it, I guess it's fine.
Freezing.
It's a bally nuisance, is what it is. What is what it is. A whole neighborhood's twitching its curtains now. On Twitch. I don't like all this fuss. It's jolly unsettling.
About Mr. Natsumi then, Mr. Garida. Please do tell us.
Ah, yes, the Japanese chap. Only been lodging here a week. Oh, just 1 week? So he moved in very recently then. I have two lodges most of the time. One on the ground floor and one just below us. First floor became available a week ago, you see. There's been... Ah! Dash it all, Joan! Do be careful!
Oh my goodness! I'm terribly sorry, sir. If you want to know my opinion... I thought he was a shady sort from the moment I set eyes on him.
I can't believe they have McDonald's coffee.
Oh? Why? Good answer. He seemed to have a most nervous disposition, always shaking and looking over his shoulder. The man had a shady written across his sweat-soaked brow, if you ask me.
With a real shady man, please stand up.
I said to myself, Joan, that man is trouble. Sooner or later, he's going to do something untoward. And I'm rarely wrong about anything.
We won't be calling this maid as a witness, that's for sure.
Was there anything else that struck you as suspicious about the man at all? Oh, yes! Indeed there was.
And she's dying to tell us. Had you noticed anything else at all about your lodger, Mr. Natsume?
Oh my word! Yes! The man was shadier than an orchard! Could you elaborate? Well, take the man's room. Absolutely stuffed full of books it is. More than anyone could ever read. And he never so much as passes the time of day of another living soul. I haven't seen a single visitor call. He just trots off to that old bookshop every single day and comes back at 5 to light a gas fire. And a funny little man is up long past the time everyone else in the house has gone to bed too.
Oh, I see.
The gentleman on the ground floor goes to bed at around 9 each night. But I've never known that Japanese fellow to retire any earlier than 2 in the morning. Could you clarify something, I wonder? What, pray? How do you know so much about Mr. Natsume's routine? Oh! I understood that neither of the lodgers live on this floor of the house, is that correct?
That's right, yes, they're both below us. On the first floor and street level.
Then, how is it that you know so much about the lives of your lodgers? Precise times that they come back in the evening, for example. Even the times they go to bed. Gossip. Oh, no.
Ah! Good grief, Joan! Be more careful, woman!
Oh my goodness, sir! Terribly sorry, sir!
Something doesn't add up here. That's a good way to
Everything
not answer
doesn't add up
questions. Seems the incident took place around 5 in the evening. Did you happen to look out of the window at around that time? Hmm? The window? Wait. Is this the only room that has real windows?
Yes, we noticed that the window over there looks out of a briar road. The incident took place on a pavement just on the far side of the street. Was there anyone suspicious loitering nearby?
5 o'clock is dinner time in the Garadeb household, so I'm afraid I don't remember seeing anything. How about you, Joan?
No, sir. It would have been dusk outside already at that hour. And with the fog as well, I should think it would have been quite impossible to see the other side of the road.
At this time of year? I don't know about that. I don't live in England, but no way is it dark at 5 in the middle of winter. Oh wait, it is winter. Yeah, sorry, I'm dumb. I forgot we have to swap the solstices. Oh, I see.
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary then?
Such as?
Anything at all, even if it seems unrelated.
Well. Yes, was there something there? Well, it's nothing particularly significant, but around this time. Ah! For the love of God, Joan, watch what you're doing!
Oh, dearie me, what have I done? I'm awfully sorry, sir.
Yeah, hey Damsung, yeah, I got it mixed up. Like, winter solstice is in June here. Do be more careful, woman.
Of course, sir. If I may, Mr. Narrow Hollow.
Yes.
I have an exceedingly good memory, and as far as I can remember, nothing of any significance took place here at that hour. Nothing at all.
Really? Mr. Garrett? The way you were talking before, it sounded rather like there might be something. Might have been. Oh well, as I was saying, it was just a trifling matter, really. Nothing. Gosh darn it all! What the matter with you, woman?
Begging your pardon, sir. Nothing happened.
They just really like, as soon as he's gonna say anything, that happens. Yes, quite. Nothing happened. We sat down to a quiet, uneventful meal. Joan?
That's right, Mr. Garda.
What's the matter with these two?
Sounds like something happened here in this room on the evening of the incident. But what?
I wish I knew. I wish I knew you more than me. Could you tell us which floor Mr. Natsumi's room is on? Why, certainly. Just below us on the first floor.
And Mr. Sholmes is investigating that, even as we speak.
Yes. Told me Nuts' name and asked him to look into the matter, so I gave him the key.
Mr. Natsumi has engaged Mr. Sholmes' services.
It's a blatant lie. Would it be alright if we took a look, look around in Mr. Natsumi's room, I mean? Don't see why not. It's just down on one flight of stairs. Who knows if we find anything that could help us with the case, but we'll have to try. We need all the clues we can lay our hands on, shall we?
Yes, and while we're there, we can speak with Mr. Sholmes again. Perhaps he'll be able to tell us more.
Small dark room rented by a visiting scholar from the Empire of Japan by the name of Suski Smith. Cat. 19th February, Mr. Natsume's room. Just look at this place. And smell it. It's so musty in here. I suppose it's the mountain of old books that are responsible for that.
I don't think I've ever seen so many books in my life. Oh, look at the cat, though.
Which one? No, me neither.
Oh, there's two.
It's
I
so...
can see the one moving.
It's so dark in here, too.
Is that the window over there? Why is it boarded up?
Well, it was the window, I think, yes. Once upon a time. For some reason, it's closed up with bricks and mortar. Oh no, Monokuma's at it again!
No.
So this is where Mr. Natsumi lives. Natsume.
By the way, I haven't spotted Mr. Sholmes anywhere, have you?
No, that's true, but according to what Mr. Garrett have told us, the great detective should be around here somewhere investigating.
Oh, look, it's a beckoning cat from home.
It's a bit big and bulky, isn't it? Surely Mr. Natsume didn't bring that Maneki Neko all the way from Japan with him.
Hardly think you're in a position to comment, Mr. Naruhodo. Are you forgetting the enormous Daruma doll that you brought in with your luggage?
Well, it can be dangerous traveling abroad. I wanted the Lucky Charm.
Well, I imagine Mr. Natsume wanted the same, and this cat is sure to beckon good luck to him.
It's not doing a very good job so far, is it?
You mustn't say such things.
I didn't say a word! Why am I as such a
You said many
giveaway?
words, sir.
Yeah, I said multiple words.
No.
Oh, it's gone.
Oh my, what an adorable little cat. Hasn't a cat like not eaten for a while?
I don't know.
Perhaps he's looking after all the books while his master is away.
I don't know about that. He disappeared in that pile of books as quick as a flash. It was a tricolor Mike, wasn't it? Do they even have that sort of cat here in Great Britain?
Perhaps Mr. Natsume brought the little creature with him from Japan.
That's made me feel homesick now.
Already? I've only been in the country for 2 days.
Could you even call this a window?
Think so. It was a window at one time, after all. Although all that remains is the frame around some bricks now.
So really, it's just a wall then, isn't it? But why would anyone deliberately brick it up like that?
I'm afraid I have no idea. Ah, perhaps Mr. Natsume painted a brick design on it in a fit of whimsy.
That's alarmingly feasible. Anyway, whatever the reason, the lack of ventilation here makes the place very oppressive.
It does. Imagine being cooped up in a room like this would be extremely trying.
Yeah. How would you... There's no vents.
Vent gas.
Y-E-S.
That desk seems to be wedged into a crevice between the mountains of books on either side.
I suppose Mr. Natsume would sit there and read while stroking his cat. But surrounded on all sides by these towering old tomes, surely he dreamt of books every night as well.
He must have done, wasn't he? Oh, what's this? What's this? There's color everywhere. It's a receipt from a second-hand bookshop. Your books.
My books. Oh yes, Mr. Natsume's name is on it. Look, and the date of purchase. It's 2 days ago at 4:45 p.m., where it's bright and sunny outside. That's the day of the incident.
That's just a short while before he was embroiled by a terrible attack.
Well, he has an alibi now, so he couldn't have been there.
He must have been on his way back from buying some old books.
See, that's the funny thing. When we spoke to me, you turned the radio down slightly. Look at all those books stacked up there. They almost reach the ceiling.
They're all works of English literature, and they all smell so musty.
I just want to note that we are like 80 minutes into the stream. I practiced my Herlock voice, and I haven't had to use it the entire time. With this volume of books to hand, you'd never be short of reading material, would you?
No, what a dreamy idea.
Bad dream, maybe. For me, at least. Mind you, I don't imagine the book that's at the bottom of the pile now will ever be read again.
Ah, so reading it is an experience that comes but once in a lifetime, just as a tea ceremony teaches us.
I certainly didn't expect the conversation to turn down the path of tea ceremony philosophy. Don't know where I'm going here. Did I get any evidence? Oh wait. Custom missing nicely. Sum of 2 shillings stand in the receipt of the picture of Monsieur Lecoq. I don't want to say that again. A meal for Garibert. Canterbury Yearnings. Maybe we'll go back to the prison. 19th February, local prison, cell 9.
Is there going to be a miracle on this one? It seems that we can't meet Mr. Natsume at the moment.
What, miracle on 19th cell?
I think it's miracle in cell something. Can't remember which
I
one.
was thinking of miracle on 34th Street. 45th?
Is it that one?
The Christmas movie?
Is that the number?
It's got to be 34th. No, this doesn't sound right.
No, I was thinking miracle in cell number 7.
It is 34th. Let's go. Oh, I can't wait for that to come up in trivia. Oh.
He's being briefed about his appearance in court tomorrow, apparently.
I see. Yes, the trial is only a day away. Alright then, let's come back later.
Yes.
I really hope he's not answering any more questions with inappropriate textbook answers like, yes I do. Look, you didn't have to say it. I noticed that as soon as you said it. Oh. Look at all these balls of paper on the floor. There are notes scrolled over them in English. Looks like the waste paper basket is so full, they've just fallen out.
I think Mr. Natsume must have been deeply immersed in his research, don't you?
Or deeply averse to tidying up his mess.
I wouldn't like to speculate which is closer to the truth. I just realized your entire chat is just various shades of green.
I guess. I mean, I could ruin it, but where's the fun in that?
Now it's Christmas and it's not Christmas yet.
It's almost Christmas though.
It's not Christmas yet.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Almost
Oh my God! He's.
What is
I
this?
always miss that option. Anyway, I guess chat will just have to fill up this chat message to to fix it. Anyway, I was wondering what I had to do next.
Notice. That's what you had to do next.
Look, it's really
Ah!
easy to miss. Hi, Ducky.
Look,
Oh no,
photo.
Ducky, you're gonna make everyone mad.
Riot, it's not green anymore.
Like, well, assumably.
Ah, look, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh shit. There he is. Where did he appear from? Apparently the D-pad button.
He seems to be engrossed in the pages of an old book.
Look, look, everyone prided on the fact that the chat was entirely green until I ruined it, and now you were also apparently ruining it. I apologize.
I hope you won't mind if we disturb him.
Yeah, I love pink. Like, oh wait, I don't have it anymore. Shit, disregard.
Hello, Mr. Sholmes.
Thank you for that, Ducky. I enjoy doing it, and I enjoy the fact that people are interacting with them. It's fun. I'm almost done too. Ah, you two! Good day! Now, let me see. Where was it that we met?
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, we were together on the SS Buria.
Yes, of course! The Burya! And let me see. What happened on that voyage? It was Kazuma. He died tragically. But you were a great help to us, apparently. Ah, yes, but of course! The case of Mr. Aski. Oh, no, he would say it like, Mr. Asogi! It was the one with the snake, wasn't it?
Oh, moving on now.
Well, wait, do you mean seriously, Effie, by the way, in the chat? Do you want me to... Well, you seem to remember something of it, at least. Alright. What an honor to be remembered vaguely by the great Herlock Sholmes. This is Mr... Oh, no, my dear madam. Hold your tongue. I pride myself on my superior powers of recollection. Your names are safely recorded in my brain attic. Miss Naruhodo! And Mr. Susato! Try the other way around, Mr. Sholmes. I lose the first round! In truth, I had hoped to invite you both to my Baker Street suite the day we arrived in London. I'll say that makes it okay that it's sweet. I still think it should be Herlock Sholmes Holmes, but I'll take it. But some Scotland Yarders ambushed me at the railway station and whisked me away to a crime scene. It was an entirely trivial case, of course. I solved the matter in no more than 30 minutes. So they apprehended Susky-san in that short of an amount of time? I'm afraid the pursuance of a new case has dulled my recollection of my past involvements a little. A little? It is a mistake to think that one's brain attic has elastic walls that can distend at any extent. I do my best to forget useless facts, lest they should elbow out the useful ones. Yes, those are my own words of inimitable wisdom, you know, from an adventure entitled A Study in Scarlet. I've heard of that one. Oh, also, I did not know that Vagabond. And now I'm curious, like, when was his, like, appearance first set in stone? Like, I don't know if Arthur Conan Doyle had an illustrator or something. Please, there's no need to quote yourself. I don't always remember my pearls of wisdom, but fortunately my associate pens them beautifully. He means Iris, I suppose. Mr. Sholmes, we have some extremely important questions to ask you about the trivial case you just mentioned. Goodness! What an earnest expression! My dear madam, I should only be too pleased, and this murky room is an apt place to discuss the murky case. We know this to be the logic of a Japanese foreign student by the name of Sasuke Natsume. It seems you assisted in his arrest, Mr. Sholmes, for the stabbing of a young woman outside here on Briar Reed. Natsume! Yes, I believe it was a name rather along those lines. But Mr. Natsume denies it. Was it really justifiable to arrest him on so little? I'm sorry, Miss Susato, but I have not the slightest idea of what you mean.
Go
What?
higher, Jack. Go higher.
What? Like that? I can't believe he was
That's not
looking
higher.
such a
It's the same
sun
pitch.
squarely in the eye while painting you. I don't know how to break this to you, but I can't hit the high notes as we I think established in the 428 stream.
I believe in you.
Working on a little novel, little plot, characters, Act 1, Act 2, little novel you're working on. Like as we established, that's what my high-pitched voice turns into. I assure you, I am not merely feigning ignorance. It would appear as if the pair of you are under some misapprehension. Oh, ow. I assure you, I have no recollection of accusing your astute compatriot of the crime. But that doesn't make any sense. Oh, sorry, that was really nice. The good detective of Scotland Yard made the following request of me, and I quote verbatim. We need you to ascertain the identity and whereabouts of a man fleeing the crime scene. Ah, a man seen fleeing. There were a number of books scattered on the pavement at the scene. From the book plates, I was able to determine the bookshop from which they had been purchased. Oh, and speaking with the proprietor, I was immediately led to this address. Elementary, wouldn't you say? I believe there is a receipt around here somewhere from the establishment in question. So you don't think Mr. Natsume is the culprit then? That I could not tell you, but it was aggravating my faculties, hence why I returned here. However, this place is such a trove of fascinating books, I found myself completely lost in bibliophily. Do not be deceived into believing that I am a man of leisure. No, no, no.
Oh dear.
Ah, tell me. Have you encountered the landlord of these lodgings? Yes, Mr. Garadeb, a retired military man.
It was the first time I've ever met a soldier from the Great British Institution that is the services.
And it was the first time I've ever met a maid from the Great British Institution that is service. I didn't think it was that funny. I do apologise. As you may well be aware, many households in London employ a maid.
Yes, I read as much in my Great Britain primer.
And so conversely, whether or not a household employs a maid has come to betoken the social standing of those dwelling therein. Betoken their social standing? Sorry? Put simply, my dear fellow, those who employ at least a single maid are considered middle class. Those who don't are beneath that. In the upper echelon of society, of course, households employ enough staff to constitute a large family. Wait, does Sholmes have a maid?
Goodness, how extraordinary.
As you can appreciate, for those on precarious boundary between middle and lower classes, being able to afford just one maid is of the first importance. I had no idea. And it is for precisely that reason that I find great stimulation in the situation upstairs. Specifically, in the retired army veteran, Mr. John Garadeb. Oh? Affable as he is, the fellow is hiding something. Whether or not it imposes on the circumstances of this case, I am as yet unable to ascertain. I'm thoroughly lost on what he means to say. This room is thoroughly suffocating for the soul, my dear fellow. I assure you, any man whose lot is to dwell in a place such as this will stab somebody sooner or later.
Mr. Natsumi has stabbed no one.
Ah! But sooner or later, as I said.
I don't believe that's the issue here.
About this dark little room, Mr. Sholmes. Why is there a window? Do you have any idea? No window? Well, I mean, I can clearly see that there is a window of sorts.
He means there is no view.
But it's been completely locked. I mean, it's like no windows, megamind.png.
Really?
I see. The answer to that question is quite simple. Window tax. Oh, I thought they call it air tax.
View tax?
Window tax? What is that?
Surely not a tax on windows.
Precisely that.
Oh my goodness.
Until relatively recently, a tax was levied on households in this country by the number of their windows. Those of lesser means, having inherited a sizable and costly family home perhaps, rapidly closed windows up. While the rich opened windows here, there, and everywhere. In an effort to curry favour with those in power by furnishing them with large sums of tax money. Oh my god, rich people who go out of their way to pay taxes? What is this?
How awful and unjust, forcing people to live in rooms devoid of light.
Indeed. Disease was rife as a result. So some 40 years ago, or thereabouts, the window tax was abolished. but its legacy remains, as you can see, in squalid lodgings such as these, for example. I suppose Mr. Natsume's stipend for living here in London isn't very generous, perhaps. It would appear so. I've done a little digging and discovered that these lodgings were offered at an extraordinarily low price.
Because the room is so awful, I should think.
Apparently, Mr. Natsume only moved in here about 1 week ago.
And
It's
his
been-
entire room is already covered in books.
Yes, that's correct. However, I don't believe the low rent is explained by the shabby nature of the accommodation. Oh? Still, that is of little relevance here, a matter not worthy of further attention. You sure? I'm curious now. Well, I believe I've told you all I can now. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. Ah yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Was it not your intention to become a practitioner of law? You remember that, did you? Will you perhaps be offering your services in this very matter? I wonder. To the occupant of this room, Mr. Natsume, was it? I'm not sure. Not sure? On what grounds? Well, I actually defended someone in court here only yesterday. Really? Really? Well then, I congratulate you, sir, on an ambition realized, and so promptly too. The thing is, it's really made me question things. Am I right to believe in my clients? To trust in their innocence? Like, I'm sure everyone would prefer if I just also used the showman's voice for Ryunosuke. But I don't think I would. Yes, trust. Mr. Sholmes. Mr. Natsume didn't do it, did he? My dear fellow! I haven't the first idea! Oh, but I thought that's why you were here. Didn't you come back to investigate? Ah yes, that was indeed my initial intention. But there are simply too many fascinating books here. I couldn't possibly ignore them. Oh, I see. Nevertheless, there are two facts that I can state quite unequivocally. The man who fled the scene of the crime 2 days ago was the Japanese occupant of this room. Calling occupants of international craft? There are witnesses who swear to having seen the same man commit the crime. That's all I can say. And just one more thing.
Oh, what is it, Mr. Holmes? Tell
Ba-
us.
He's about to get us. I cannot say with any certainty whether or not it is of relevance to this case, but I am quite sure that the retired army man who owns this property is hiding something. Mr. Garrideb is... Mr. Sholmes said as much before, actually, didn't he? Anyway, at present, that is really all that plays on my mind in relation to this case.
Mr. Naruhodo. As yet, our investigations have uncovered nothing that could help establish Mr. Natsume's innocence.
No, you're right. Perhaps it's time to probe a little deeper into Mr. Garrideb's secret. Just remember, I cannot be sure whether the landlord's secret will prove to be of relevance or not. But I wish you every success, of course, Mr. Naruhodo. A busy man indeed. He's gone back into his book in the corner of the room.
The way he like disappears on the screen, like the way he fades out, looks like that gif of that guy who like pieces out.
Don't know if I know what one you mean. I'm thinking of like Homer descending into the bushes.
I sent you in DMs.
Oh yeah, that one. Okay. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes. Yes, so true. To be or not to be? That is indeed the question, Mr. Naruhodo. To be or not to be brushed off? That is the question. And the answer is all too clear.
Let's leave Mr. Sholmes in peace, shall we? Never. Never leave him in peace.
February, Mr. Garadeb's room. Ugh, you pair again. Tell me, was that detective chap, I forget his name, still hard at work down there? Yeah, I had a good British voice from then before, but now it's turned Australian again. This keeps happening.
Mr. Herlock Sholmes?
Ah, yes. Rings a vague bell. All that detective business isn't really my thing, I'm afraid. Well, Mr. Sholmes is in his elementary down there, Watson.
Wow.
Good, jolly good show. Another cup of tea, if you please, Joan. This time don't overflow it. Here it goes. Now then, why did you do— Oh! Filthy up time, woman! Will you watch what you're ballywell doing?
I shall be serving dinner shortly, sir. Let's watch you go that high.
Ah, yes, of course. Frightfully rude of me, but I'm afraid I shall ask you to take your leave if you'd be so kind.
Oh, yes, of course. We're deeply grateful for all your assistance.
Not at all, not at all. Don't get much chance to talk with the young foreigners like yourselves. It's been a pleasure. Best of luck and all that. Perhaps you could see yourselves out. According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garadeb is hiding something. And since no other avenues of investigation seem open to us at the moment, perhaps we should do some digging. What didn't I? That portrait of Mr. Garadeb is glaring at me, I swear.
Have you noticed that all the little frames contain photographic prints of Mr. Garadeb as well?
Yes, and there seems to be a statue of a lion on a mantelpiece as well. When the 9th lion! Ah yes, seemed to come back from the local pawnbroker with that little trinket. He's not he just told us to like piss off, and we're just going to start another conversation with him. Seemed to come back? What do you mean? The chap who runs the place is a bally wizard! Also, like, Bally? Bally? I actually don't know this British slang, if there even is one. Went in to sell him something that came out with that thing. Point of fact, now I think about it, I rather often find myself leaving the place for something I don't need.
The lion ornament simply does seem selfless to requirements.
Susato-san doesn't pull her punches. Or her throws, for that matter.
I mean, she only throws things at him.
Yeah, exactly. Oh! What's he doing over there? Shaking that ass. Shaking that ass. I see you, Sholmesy.
Mr. Sholmes?
Aha! We meet again, my dear fellows. Good gracious, when did you sneak in here? Herlock Sholmes, sir, at your service.
Whatever were you doing over by the window?
I have given to watching the evening sky as the sun sets, madam. Yet sadly, cheerful as the room downstairs undoubtedly is, it lacks an aperture for such observation. So I took the liberty of borrowing a small corner of space by the window up here. How on earth did he get there without anyone seeing him? Well.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man.
Keeping an eye to one's window at dusk is the prudent thing to do in London, I'm gathering. Ah! And just one more thing, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, me? I thought perhaps you might be in need of a certain great detective's great mind. Wait, he's not talking about... Is he... I didn't expect to be going through that again so soon. Oh wait, are we doing it? Are we doing it?
Do you mean Mr. Sholmes?
There is a mighty secret in this modest room. My eyes see even the most trivial of trifles. I take it you're prepared, Mr. Naruhodo. I think so? There is just time enough for one of my greatly admired great deductions. Let us conclude the matter before dark. Oh, let's frickin' go! Mr. Garadeb, though it would seem you are a military man of considerably distinguished service, your standing as a landlord is most certainly not what one might call first-rate. I'm afraid, sir, that is all too clear to me. There are two conclusions I have been able to draw by careful observation of your living arrangements. I beg your pardon. The first is that even as we speak, you are concealing the presence of a ferocious beast in your care. Yeah. The second is that as a result of the beast's violent rampage, you have lost something very dear to you. This could be a reference to a Sherlock Holmes story, but I only know, like, 2, so I don't know it probably.
Mr. Naruhodo, look.
I should read The Hounds of Baskerville before the next stream. I think I have it. The old man's broken out in a cold sweat. Unbelievably, it seems Mr. Sholmes' conclusions are both spot on. Actually, just a moment, I'm gonna check. You're like, oh shit, it's not a whiteboard. No, we don't have the Hounds of Baskerville, sadly.
No.
There's like 12 different Herlock Sholmes stories in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. That's sad. How could you possibly... We also don't have a study in Scarlet. But we do have Speckled Band. How could I possibly know, you mean to inquire? The answer couldn't be simpler, sir. For in the dense jungle of logic and reasoning, I am the king of beasts. Ah! And I know only too well that wild beasts are not easily tamed. So, shall we begin? Once again, Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular! Finally, the game is afoot.
I like the way that they do these bits. It just looks very nice.
I just get a little exhausted because it's so much Sholmes reading.
Yep.
It certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see, although I've gotten a bit more awake now. That a fearsome beast has been on the rampage of late within these four walls. So, who's pinging me? I see. Just a moment. Ah, for a man with military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Aye. Your furtive glance, Mr. Garrideb, lends us directly to the answer. I really need like a cap or something for this. Even if it's just like a golf cap so I can put it on with my headphones. I don't know. The true nature of the beast has run rampant here is revealed by that lion statue. Yes, though an army man, you appear unimposing at best. A fact that has fueled your admiration for the mighty lion, the king of beasts, and AFL premiers in 2001, 2002, and 2003. Don't talk about 2004. What is this? Piffle, I ask you.
About it.
We don't talk about 2004. In the end, your admiration became so great, in fact, that you had a living, breathing specimen shipped from your India, which you tried to keep in this very house. But if any Port Adelaide fans do want to talk about 2004, then you just have to talk about 2011. I think it was 2011. What? Yet living with such a wild beast proved more difficult than you had imagined. The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Evident? Okay. Yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to? That's a good.
Me?
She's a lion in a maid costume. I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain to me with one glance in your direction.
It is?
Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. For protruding from it is a handbill advertising a circus show.
Oh,
Yes, you sought to dispose of this terrifying lion, Mr. Garrideb, at Batty's Circus, a travelling show currently sojourning in a nearby park. I have observed the tents. You sold the savage lion, sir, to the circus troupe. Oh no, 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 not Ace Attorney Circus. Oh no, they're not a clown, they're the whole circus. I most certainly did not. I believe I have made my point. The fearsome beast which run amok in this room was an Indian lion. And a simple visit to the circus now will reveal the lion prancing jubilantly through a ring of fire. Now, Mr. Garadeb, it is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed, in that blithe pose, the distress this loss has caused you is veritably tangible. Your head weighs heavily on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by that supporting arm. Amid fits of tears, you let your beloved beast go. Just a moment. The strain of losing someone so dear to you is clearly visible in your visage. Nonsense, man. I simply... But what, we must ask ourselves now, is the true cause of this pain? Oh, wait, sorry. We need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it is this pile of bills that has given rise to the pain you suffer. Every envelope contains another demand for payment.
Oh,
4 cart loads of meat, potatoes, wheat, and tea. Indeed, feeding your beloved has had a devastating impact on the financial circumstances of your household. And so you had no choice but to let it go. Yes, well, Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beasts carry out one last, unimaginable attack.
unimaginable.
The aftermath, which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over there. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I am not mistaken.
Oh, dearie me.
What could have caused such a destructive outburst?
Oh,
This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wondering eye has settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the Tower of Cakes. Damn, I want cake now. There is no creature more dangerous on this earth than a beast with an unsatiated appetite. Was it what once said by a certain nobleman, if they have no bread, let them eat cake? Food is at the heart of all tragedy, in fact.
whatever do you mean?
Having tired of the taste of cake, the beast began to stalk its very next prey. I'm sure I need not spell out the nature of this final act of destruction carried out by the beast. There is only one logical conclusion. Worked into a frenzy by hunger, the lion attacked and ate the carpet. The teeth marks in the carpet are a perfect match with those of a lion I once saw in India.
Hey, at least you didn't say you saw the lion in Singapore.
Why?
So,
Explain the law.
so basically, Singapore is a national animal is the lion, and they say the main reason for that is because the founder of this place, of this country, saw a lion when he first landed on the island, which is technically incorrect because there aren't enough planes in Singapore to have lions, and they shouldn't exist. And at best, he might have seen a tiger, which don't exist here anymore because they're jungles.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So at least he's not saying there are lions in Singapore.
There's like... Oh, don't worry, actually. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes's great deduction of this beastly puzzle. Oh, this is my version of this thing is I have not seen a kangaroo in the flesh in a very, very, very long time. Although they used to come to my backyard. Oh, sorry. Ah! What is the matter with you, Joan? You're pouring scalding hot tea all over me.
He's losing his balls. Absolutely.
Well, that's what happened. Like, a woman literally like got severe burns from McDonald's coffee and sued them. Rightly so. Psst.
Sorry, I thought it was. I misread the name. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Garrett. I'm afraid I didn't notice.
My deductions can be startlingly sharp. It stands to reason that your cup runneth over. Indeed, my revelations can make people spill tears at times too. Oh, he's sweating. Mr. Sholmes, sorry to butt in again, but can I make an observation? Why, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo. What is it? Again. Well, your deduction is just now. Do you really think a lion could have fit inside a room that size? Imagine if she got a pay cut every time she did that. She'd almost be paid less than Gumshoe.
Well, Holmes, do you really think a lion landed in Singapore?
Indeed! It is the only explanation for the facts!
No, shut the fuck up, Holmes.
That's what he
This is a
said.
bad section. Just get yourself out of here.
Hey, I'm just reading the line. You set this up. The terrifying truth all too often lies beyond the realms of common sense. But wouldn't it also be an idea to consider what lies inside the realms of common sense as well?
But if an uncaged lion had run amok in this very room, in this very country, where lions can't exist, surely Mr. Garrett and his maid would have been hurt, or worse.
Oh, what if it's one of the three lions, because we're in England? Ah!
At least they're big enough to house lions.
That's where you're stuck! And the reason they didn't, like, maim the dude is because the three lions always lose. They never succeed. No doubt the former military man held his own against the beast using that large cannon. I thought you said that they sold the lion to the circus.
And what about the food? Meat and potatoes are one thing. I don't believe I've ever heard of a lion entering this tea.
Ah, my dear Miss Susato, it occurs to me with some regularity that irrespective of race and breeding, whenever anyone lands on Great British soil, they are infused with a highly appropriate taste for afternoon tea.
Oh, what a glorious notion.
Is there a missing Oxford comma there, Vagabond? Like, because I vote for the milk. Oh wait, I just remember what you're referencing.
Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, it's your turn to shine again.
I had a feeling this was coming.
A slight massage. That's all Mr. Sholmes' deductions need. You can do it!
Excellent! I've been waiting for my trusty partner in deduction to step forward, Mr. Naruhodo. We don't even know yet whether or not this is going to help with Mr. Natsume's case. Still, uncovering the truth is always worthwhile, whatever the motivation. At least, that's what I want to believe. Let us start again from the beginning of Herlock Sholmes's Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. I would almost consider getting a prop pipe just for these streams.
I wonder if Iris ever has to deal with this shit.
It certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see, or does she like put these in the story as well? I guess she does, because he has to explain everything that happened. Oh, sorry. That a fearsome beast has been on the rampage of late within these four walls. Thus we are faced with the question, what form might this beast take? Ah, for a man with a military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Aye. Your furtive glance, Mr. Garadeb, leads us directly to the answer. Wait, what does audio tech got to do with it? I used to have Audio Technica headphones. But they broke.
Mics.
Oh.
If you genuinely need to get getting a mic, get one of those.
I wasn't talking about getting a mic, I was talking about getting a pipe.
A pipe. Jesus fucking Christ. Alright. I'm not deaf, I swear.
Or is this just a bit to say like my microphone isn't good enough, so that's why you misheard me? I really didn't see the lion thing coming.
I think your mic is actually fine. No, but if you observe the Garadeb's reaction.
I really don't like it, to be honest. It's way too quiet.
It rather seems as though some beast did indeed run amok here in this room.
Yes.
The beast is a maid.
Something with a very fierce
Warranty.
nature.
But it couldn't have been a lion transported from India.
Well, what is it then?
Well, you tell me the answer. You're the detective. You're the... Don't lead us to the true answer.
Okay. Water? I genuinely don't know, yeah. I mean,
Why not the mortar shells?
the mortar's the only thing that makes sense, but why? And I'll try it.
He'll smoke his way through it, don't worry.
Oh. The true identity of the beast that tore this room apart is these shells. With their butter wouldn't melt accomplish the cannon. But war is good for nothing, it brings only destruction. Something we must strive to understand. What spectacularly contrived logic leads to this mindless conclusion? Oh, well, it's supposed to be a logic and reasoning spectacular, so I thought I'd contribute to the show. This is my show, Mr. Naruhodo. Kindly perform any peculiar experiments on your own stage. Ugh, sorry. I like how he's telling me off for getting something wrong as if he didn't also, and that's the point of this. But what do we know? Wait.
Well, what we do know with some certainty is that a destructive creature has been at work in this room.
And that Mr. Garrett had inadvertently looked in the direction of something that gives its identity away. Yes, if we investigate that thoroughly enough, we ought to find the answer. It's here somewhere, we need to find it. This, like, the only other thing you can even select is the picture.
A photo frame?
Yeah, but like, what does that mean? How does a... Unless, like, is the...
It's a dude.
Yeah, but...
I mean,
Oh,
the photo frame is also broken.
Thank you for putting that out, Vagabond. It's just... Oh, sorry, it's revealed by that. Okay, that makes more sense.
Oh yeah, I was wondering if you could examine it because like you just presented everything.
Can you look at this photograph?
It appears to be from Mr. Garadev's wedding. He looks very happy, doesn't he?
He does, but you can't make out his bride.
No. How unfortunate. Something must have struck the glass directly over the woman's face.
I wonder what happened. Probably best not to delve too deeply there.
Take that!
Oh, still wrong? There's nothing else I can click on I thought we could see. Yeah, I've yet to examine it in detail. I can assure you that holds the answer. Because I'm employing an extremely advanced technique called jumping to conclusions, you see. So now I've got hiccups. What spectacularly contrived logic leads you to this mindless conclusion? Yada 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 yada. Okay.
Or maybe we have to look at the lion statue
Maybe.
and observe it.
Well, this is the lion statue that Mr. Sholmes picked out.
Yes, I wonder. Perhaps if we did live with a lion, it would prove to be a rather sweet companion.
I think that's like a mouse trying to tell its family that the cat around the house is sweet.
I suppose it is a bit of a flight of fancy, isn't it?
Anyway, the beast we're looking for is something else. Let's have a good look around. I genuinely can't find anything else I can click on. Unless, like, I'm missing some limitations of the camera or something.
Can you examine it? I mean, like, you guys talk about it, but you can't really flip it over, can you?
No.
Oh, wait, there's something else at the bottom left, maybe? Oh, no? Okay. I thought I saw something pop up.
I did.
Ignore me.
Thought I did too. This is just another shell. Hang on, can I click on those? These are shells for the cannon, are they? What a strange place to keep them.
I imagine they have some significance to Mr. Garada from his time in the army.
Oh, wait.
Oh, of course. He mentioned a battle to us before, didn't he? A battle that happened in this very same room. Do you remember? He said that he'd been shot in the knee. Perhaps it was one of these that hit him.
If around that size hit his knee, there'd be nothing left of it, or Mr. Garrett for that matter. Mr. Sholmes has a Persian slipper, and this man has spent shells. Perhaps it's customary in Britain to display rubbish on the mantelpiece. It feels like I should be able to look somewhere else because there's nothing else I can think. And I'm not going to present the lion statue. Is this an I'm dumb moment or is the game doing something dumb?
I mean, do you have any other options?
I don't see any other options. It's literally mortar shell, lion statue, photographic frame.
Time to present the lion, I guess.
No, because it's literally the same thing that's already there. That can't be it. By all means, give me a hint. I'm feeling really dumb right now. Oh, okay, thank you. That's annoying.
Take that!
The true nature of the beast that's run rampant here is revealed by that newlywed bride. Precisely, Mr. Naruhodo! No other explanation could possibly fit! Yes, this framed print pictures your wife, Mr. Garadeb. And while we lament the fact that her face is obscured, we can still make it her mighty arms and note the considerable horsepower they must contain. Indeed, surely any woman of such powerful constitution would be honored to be described as a beast. Oh, I should put gloves on for this. That's sort of missing. Honored might be stretching a point. There. Too late! The fact remains that the beast which so clearly savaged this room was your wife, Mr. Garadeb. Oh my god. Ah! Hate my wife! The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence.
Well,
Yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to, madam?
me?
I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain to me with one glance in your direction.
It is.
Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts.
The poor, fragile, defenseless woman is beside herself.
Well, I don't know about fragile, but not that fragile.
Oh, dear. Anyway, Mr. Sholmes is quite right. There's no sign of a Mrs. Garadeb anywhere.
Just like how there's no sign of a Mrs. Columbo. But it seems there may be a clue to her whereabouts. A clue that this maid is trying to hide. I wonder where Mrs. Garadeb's wife could be.
Is his wife not the maid?
I mean, is that what they're trying to say, I think? But is there anything else I can click on? Too tightly shut eyes to avoid even the chance of a giveaway glance. Pursed lips to prevent any secrets slipping out. Rounded cheeks to deflect any abuse that might be hurled her way. Yes, this is an unnervingly powerful woman, Mrs. Sato.
It's your turn of phrase that's unnerving, Mr. Naruhodo.
Let me try it.
Take that!
Ah, shit! I'm not even sure if I should voice this. It's impossible to believe that it could be true, yet for some reason, a thought came to my mind. This serving maid is in fact a mighty goddess of destruction. That deduction was wanting in every way. Yes, I was wanting you to hear it. Quite proud of it. I find myself wanting to never have heard it. I'm quite pained by it, in fact. Oh, sorry. I'll try again. Sorry. Yes, Mr. Garadeb's wife.
It's just a question of finding out where she is now.
For some reason, I feel as though she's very nearby. I just need to find the evidence to prove it.
Maybe just check. Maybe you want to look at a photo again and
Maybe.
see similarities.
What?
What a charming little teapot, and it's in pristine condition.
John has been pouring some deliciously fragrant tea from it for Mr. Garrett, hasn't she?
Well, not so much for Mr. Garrett as on Mr. Garrett, wouldn't you say?
She has to go Gary dab him dry. Anyway, I wouldn't dream of drawing attention to it.
Can't really look at it anymore. Well, who am I if not someone who will just, like, bang my head against every possible solution?
Take that!
Well,
I mean, can we look at the photo though? And then
I
like,
can't,
see if
it
there are
doesn't let me.
similarities involved?
there's an old Arabian tale inside the pot. It was a genie who was once something that really bad through the whole world. What precisely was your intention with that, Mr. Naruhodo? Just following natural progress in the direction you just made the truth tells. Well, the truth is, you did not have a turn for observation or deduction. Did that hurt? Yes, a lot. I'm fine. There should be something to look at from behind. Wait. The handprint is not something I can observe. This is
Does
so
she have a
cumbersome.
ring?
Yes. Oh, is that it?
I made a guess.
Is this something like a man does not think of this? She's wearing a very large ring. Look.
They say 90% of all men don't wear wedding rings after getting married. Oh yes, the sunflower design is some rather nice embellishment. It looks like the Maui face, and it's on the ring finger of the left hand, which means it is surely a wedding ring.
It looks like it's on there for life too. I can't imagine it would slide off a finger of that size.
That's something to think, Mr. Naruhodo, not to say. Do you know Mr. Garadev's wife in photograph had a ring very much like this one? There we go. It was a large sunflower design as well.
Really? You have a great memory for these things. A large sunflower wedding ring. It's quite a coincidence they have the same ring, isn't it?
Take that!
Your wedding ring gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts.
Ah!
Indeed it does! This flowery band gleaming on your finger gives you away. For it is identical to the one shown on the hand of Miss Garadeb's bride in this photographic print. In other words, you are no ordinary housemaid. Hold why? Mate. No! You are Mr. Garadeb's lucky bride. You are Mrs. Garadeb herself.
Oh my word!
You did not miss me messing up 2 more times, Vagabond. It's okay. Well, jolly fine detecting, sir. As you rightly surmise, this is the wife, yes, my Joan. Rather let herself go, you might say, but she was a bug! Ah! It would appear you don't live in the most comfortable of circumstances. After all, you're a retired army man, yet you're in the business of renting out rooms. I would assume, therefore, you have insufficient means to employ a maid. Would that be correct? It's not right, I tell you. I was 2nd Lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment. Man has his pride, don't you know? By golly, it's a sorry thing when a chap can't even afford to have a single maid in his employ. Yes, here in London one is rather judged. A household cannot be considered worthy of society if it employs no staff at all. Though in my considered opinion, such concerns about appearances are a folly. You mean Mr. Garrideb has a wife work here as a maid? Precisely! Am I right, Mr. Garrideb? Only in company, obviously. But listen here, this must remain a secret. Tip-top secret, please! Oh god, we're not done.
I mean, we must figure out if the wife gnawed on the carpet.
Obviously, that's what it's suggesting. Now, Mr. Garrideb. It is plainly clear that you have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed, in that Blythe post, the distress this loss has caused you is veritable tangible. This doesn't make any sense anymore. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by this supporting arm. Jones is quite something. He's still calling Mr. Garrideb's wife a beast. Yes. Sorry.
Yes, as a woman, that feels rather uncomfortable.
But Mrs. Garrideb is standing right beside her husband as we speak. In other words, he hasn't lost his beloved at all, has he?
Oh, how true! So perhaps that supporting arm that seems to be propping up his head has some other significance then.
According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garrideb's pain is tangible though. What could that pose of his really signify? Is it the iron print I can see? I'm just gonna do it. Yeah, okay. Finally I got one. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by that slap cheek. And of course, the deliverer of that impressive mark on your cheek that refuses to fade was you, Madame Joan Garrideb.
Oh my god, her eyes.
Well, yes.
You have been desperate to hide the slap mark on your cheek, sir. Ah! How the blazes! How'd you work that out, man? Nothing escapes the notice of one trained in the art of observation, my dear fellow. That's why you haven't looked directly at us even once. To keep your other side from view. Well, now, let us proceed to the next conundrum. Why were you subjected to such a violent slap? Oh, because, you see, I said a joke on the Oscars. In other words, we must ask ourselves, what caused Madame Garrideb to fly into a rage? And we need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it is in this pile of bills that has given rise to the pain you suffer.
Didn't Mr. Sholmes say that the bills were all for lion fodder?
Yes, but now I've established that the line never existed. Which can only mean the thing responsible for gobbling up all that food
Is the wife.
was Mr. Garrideb's what?
Mr. Naruhodo, she's a person, not a thing.
Yes, well, she's also a person who gave her husband a mighty slap around the face. One so hard they left a perfect pan mark, in fact.
Yes. Why would a woman want to hit her husband with such force, I wonder? I wonder.
I'd love to know the answer to that question. What's that bookmark?
Oh, someone must be reading this book at the moment. There's a bookmark here, look. Mr. Garrideb is clearly an avid reader.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't think this is a bookmark.
Oh no, so it isn't. It's a note, written in a woman's hand.
It's
which
still a
says,
bookmark.
"Call me."
It's still a bookmark.
Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary.
Like,
what a simple number.
I use a Wendy's receipt thing for my bookmark. It's not weird. And look next to the
Whatever
signature.
works, dude. Lip marks made of lipstick. Oh, what a passionate and romantic gesture, except that he's cheating on her.
Don't get any ideas, Society son.
Oh dear, I'm sorry.
This bookmark is actually a love note then. Well, why would they change it if it's not important? But that'd be a real good bit. I don't believe it. Yes, it is this love note that has given rise to the pain you suffer. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. Passionate indeed. Perhaps the sender of this note, as a certain Mary, is a fly on the ointment here. Oh shit, she did it again. Ah! But I don't know the Barley Woman. You don't know her? The note wasn't written to me. It was just in the book. I don't know how it got there. It was just in there, you say? That's right. That's what I've been saying! Fiddlesticks.
I like this story.
Now listen here, Joan, old thing. I explained at the time. I bought the book at that second-hand place, and the note must already have been in there. So the previous owner of the book was using the note as a bookmark, you mean? That's right! That's what I've been trying! Ah!
A likely story.
For heaven's sake, woman, look at the name. It's written to James. My name, in case you've forgotten, is John!
A likely story.
Ah.
Just record me saying that and just do it 3 times.
Are you questioning my name now? And there we have it. Arouse the suspicions of the female heart and you unleash a beast with the most ferocious bite. Ugh. Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack.
Unimaginable?
The aftermath of which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over there. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, dearie me.
I can't tell if you're making a joke, Vagabond, about, like, oh, she spilled. What could have caused such a destructive outburst?
Oh.
And that's the tea. This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wondering eyes settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the Tower of Cakes. Could it be the missing candle, I'm guessing?
But surely Mrs. Garrideb didn't eat the carpet.
No, of course not. But there doesn't seem to be any doubt that the state of disarray this room is in is a result of a wild temper.
No, that's true. So this is the last part of Mr. Shawm's deduction that we need to fix. We need only to follow Mrs. Garrideb's gaze, and that will tell us the real answer.
Alright, let's see what we can do.
This looks like a very old candlestick, doesn't it? Lumiere! It's you!
The Pokemon?
No, it's I think that's the name of the candlestick in Beauty and the Beast.
Ah, right. The base looks too small. Surely it's very unstable. Looks to me like even the slightest knock would make it topple over.
Oh dear, that will be dangerous.
Wait, take a closer look at this. There's one candle missing.
Yes, I didn't notice that before.
Oh no, Lumiere, one of your arms!
Why is that? Kana. Why is one of the candle three missing from its holder? Oh wait, it's down here. No. Carpet here has been ripped to shreds.
Yes, and according to Mr. Shorn's deduction, the tears match
Tears.
those made by an Indian lion. Tears, sorry, match those made by an Indian lion's teeth exactly.
Oh, look here.
What is it?
If you look closely at the edge, you can see scorch marks.
Oh, yes, so you can. Perhaps the carpet wasn't eaten in the normal sense at all.
Let's rethink this with that in mind. So I can't click on the candle there, I guess. Try this. It doesn't...
Take that!
Okay. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need to only look at this candlestick. Most illuminating, my dear fellow, and of course the only possible way out of this logical labyrinth. Yes, the remnants of a ferocious attack in which the carpet was devoured are clearly visible. Indeed they are! The scorch marks at the edge clearly give away the truth. Scorch marks? It would appear this room was the mark of a was the scene of a little marital altercation. Mrs. Garrett's mighty arm muscles left an impression not only on her husband's face, but on the entire room. The force of her strike caused the candle to fall from the holder. And in seconds, the carpet was alight in the whole corner of the room in flames. Yes, for the most ferocious beast in this world is neither a violent lion nor a vengeful woman, but fire. And in this room, the ferocious beast bared its claws and run amok. And I mixed the two voices. Eloquently put, my dear fellow. So you see, there is but one conclusion here. After the sparks of marital discord, this room was a scene of a fire! I can't do two voices at once, funnily enough. Mr. Sholmes, sir. I salute you! Yes, I made the maximum permitted mistakes, but it was elementary. It's these dashed long ninterwhites, you know. Nothing to do but read in front of the fire. Luckily,
Did you
there's...
say Ninja Whites?
No. Luckily, there's a jolly good second-hand shop just around the corner. Buy all my novels there. Plug. And in the pages of one particular novel, you discovered rather illicit material.
For which your wife admonished you harshly, it seems.
Don't know about admonish. Demolished might be rather closer to the mark. And beast is most certainly that. Ah! Here we go again. And the carpet, was that destroyed by fire when a candle fell on the floor? Afraid to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a barley thing. I was caught between an old six rage and a raging flames. You paint a torrid picture, sir. One that would have been most entertaining. That's sympathy for you. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The Bali furniture started going up as well. We've had to hide the mess behind that screen for the time being.
Over there, Mr. Garrett?
Well, you have nothing more to hide now, if you'll allow me. Surely, like, Sholmes literally went over there, he would have seen it. Had all my favourite novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh! Up in smoke. Gosh. Then the wife started hurling things at me.
What a terrible sight it must have been.
There was I, back up against the window, under heavy enemy fire. Incendiary books coming 10 to the dozen. Worst of it is, I lost my favourite. Book's called The Lion's Pride. The Lion's Pride? Ah yes, your notorious love of big cats coming through again. I assure you the title didn't influence my choice in the slightest. So the poor man really did lose something dear to him as a result of the Ferocious Beast rampage.
Mr. Storm's deductions turned out to be correct once again.
It can only be described as a great British wonder. Oh, I tell you, it was total carnage. Flames everywhere and the old stick and full fettle. Out of interest, what time of day was that? Well, not sure I can remember. It's 2 days ago now, let's see, around 5 o'clock, I think.
So at exactly the same time as a terrifying incident was unfolding outside your window in the street below.
Even more terrifying on the inside, I can assure you. The whole of Blighty could have been flattened outside my window at that moment, and I wouldn't have noticed a dashed thing.
Oh, really?
Mr. Sholmes? Yes, Mr. Naruhodo, what can I do for you? Well, I think we've got to the bottom of the Mr. Garrett situation now, but what does it have to do with Mr. Natsumi's circumstance? I can't help you there, I'm afraid. What? My dear fellow, if you recall, I did say so much from the outset. I warned you that although I knew the retired army man to be hiding something, I could not be sure whether his secret would prove to be of relevance or not. I just knew you were going to say that. Ah ha 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 ha! Now, Mr. Naruto, you mustn't lose heart. Bear in mind that all things fall into one of only two categories, those relevant to the case and those not. That makes no sense to me. Well, no matter. It is of far greater importance that you make up your mind now. Sorry. Visiting hours at the prison will soon be over. Oh no. Is it that time already?
We are to accept Mr. Natsume's case. We have official paperwork to attend to.
So that's it. No more time to think.
Perhaps you'd like to betake yourself to bidding us farewell now. I must prepare supper for Mr. Garadeb.
Oh, yes. I'm so sorry.
Thank you both very much for your time.
Sasuke-san will be waiting for us. And I'm gonna have to give him an answer. I just want to get to the end of this day. I have no idea what it is. 19th February, Briar Road. That's what I was doing!
It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. We must hurry back to the prison.
Yes, I know. Let's hail a cap. Oh.
What's the matter?
Looks like something's going on over there in front of the Garadib's house. I know thee not, old man. Fall to thy prayers. Who are you calling old man, you rum-looking niminy-bliminy? There are no more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, that are dreamt of in your philosophy. Who's this Horatio fella, eh? What are you talking about? Psst. Psst.
Excuse me.
Yeah, what the? Who are you now?
I'm sorry, it just looked as though there might be some problem here. And my associate here, Mr. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, is a lawyer, you see.
Eh? A lawyer? What? If you can be even me sisters, I'd be happy to help. I'm from Japan, but I've studied English law. Tusk! Fine, I'll be on me way for today. But you mark my words. This ain't over. Get thee to a nunnery. Do I look like a bloomin' nun to you?
Oh my god, that face.
Who, mine or his?
His. I mean, like, he kind of looks like, you know, like, cards on cards.
Yeah, I was gonna say he looks like the jack of clubs.
Do hope you're not injured.
The jack of clubs is the wrong color hair, but you know. Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so gentle, thank you. What was that all about? There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. I'm not Horatio either.
Forgive the inquiry, Sir Patch. Are you a lodger here in the garret of residence?
Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so right. Yes, I do dwell in this humble abode. Mr. Garrett had mentioned he had another lodger, didn't he? This must be the man. Oh, I just realized when you said Dream Vagabond that you mean Dream the person, and I was about to make the same observation, and I realized. Do you happen to know the other lodger who lives on the first floor? Ah yes, a gentleman named Natsume. Oh, more worthy a polemist in my battle of words ne'er could there be. Sorry, battle did you say? Who is the stronger, Hamlet or Macbeth? Mr. Natsume and I sparred long into the night. I see.
I don't fully understand, but it seems Mr. Natsume and this gentleman are acquaintances at best. At least.
So, fair maiden, so good gentlemen, I can tarry here no longer. Fare thee well.
I didn't really understand him, but I think he's returned to his room.
Seems he's unaware of what's happened to Mr. Natsume, so he can't really help us. Satsuki's son and the man as lodgers, the Garrett house is certainly full of eccentrics. Anyway, I'll go and find a carriage. Yes.
Yes, I'm sure Mr. Natsume is eagerly awaiting our return.
Let's hope we can get to the prison before visiting hours are over. (19th February, 6:31 PM, local prison, cell 9. You must be close to the end of the day. Oh, it's you. You're here. You came. Locum student of Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. I can't believe you came back! I'm so touched!
We're so sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume.
Think nothing of it. Relax. If I were a cat, I would purr with pleasure at the company of such fine compatriots. Oh, Naval, nurturing, never failing, Nipponis! Oh, now, let's not get carried away. Oh, I quite agree. There is nothing more reassuring than the familiarity of one's native land. On the other hand, it is through thorough friendship transcending international borders that one truly appreciates the fact. Such is my belief, at least. Oh, yes, it's a you. The miserable, rotten spy, Herlock Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing here? I have no intention of doing anything, per se. Save observing, of course.
Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
Well, it had to be a new character, right? Well, having encountered some curious reading material in that gloomful room and having unmasked the secret identity of that eccentric pair, I decided I should drop in on my way home to see how our divested friend is faring. Gloomful room? At least your accommodation here offers a window, my dear fellow. In that sense, it is a superior option. Anyways, I must commend you on your taste in books. My day has been a delight and not cost me a penny. Ah, you! How dare you! Herlock Sholmes! I've had it. I'm through. I'm at the end of my rope. I should never have come to Great Britain. I was a terrible mistake. Haunted by spirits in those accursed lodgings. No doubt my luck will be cursed in tomorrow's trial as well. My whole life is bedamned.
What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo?
He mentioned that once before, didn't he? That his lodgings were cursed, I mean. And there is much truth in Mr. Moustache's words. What? Cursed is a wholly appropriate description, I would say, for the man's lodgings, and indeed, for tomorrow's trial. What's that supposed to mean? Mr. Natsumi, what did you mean when you just said now about the trial tomorrow being cursed? Oh no, why are you looking so grey? You're making me nervous. I was just getting carried away, that's all. I didn't mean anything by it. Oh, I see. It's really agitated him. You don't mean the trial really is cursed somehow? Are you referring to the prosecutor? The Reaper of the Bailey? The Reaper? What do you mean? Please, tell me. Surely it's succinctly in 16 salient words. No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution. Ever. Oh my goodness, can it really be true? That was 16 words exactly.
Yesterday, Mr. Naruhodo successfully defended someone against the Reaper. But then, after the trial was over, the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances.
Mr. McGilded. What? Ah, I am impressed, Mr. Zato. You have an eye for detail.
Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us.
Mr. Sholmes, surely it can't be that having failed have the accused convicted. Lord Van Zeeks killed the man himself.
Oh no, you couldn't have, surely.
You have some wonderful notions. Sorry? The man isn't a mass murderer, he's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow.
Oh, yes, why, of course he is.
Of course he is, then why are you trying to scare me? It could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis. What on earth do you mean by that? Game, you tease me. Van Zeeks is a quite exceptional man. However, in the London courts of law, exceptional does not equate with winning every case without exception. That's good. Sasuke-san looks like he's about to cry tears of joy. As you are no doubt aware, in British criminal law, there is both a judge and a jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of the law, whilst the jury offers public opinion and common sense. It is an excellent system whereby the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view. However, public opinion in particular is somewhat easily manipulated. Right. Criminals and corrupt lawyers, for that matter, can use it to their advantage. By any means at their disposal, contriving evidence, calling imposters as witnesses, and so on. By such underhand means, those who would want to are able to sway the jury, which means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail.
But it means the wrong verdict can be passed.
And sadly is from time to time, my dear madam. It is simply the reality of the situation. And that's alright. However, those indicted by Lord Van Zeeks cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed. This is absolutely fine. Though the adjudication may see them leave the courtroom with their freedom, they will never take our lives. Within months, they all disappear. It is most striking. Disappear? How? Ah, by all manner of misfortune, sir. Perhaps they are trampled under a passing carriage. Perhaps they fall under the Thames and drown. Perhaps they are suddenly overcome by raging fever, or perhaps attacked by highwaymen. Oh no, no, no. All examples of the reality of events here in London, I'm afraid, Mr. Naruhodo. I knew it. I'm dead. Dodo, done for, doomed. When you said accursed lodgings before, you were referring to your room at Mr. Garrett's house, I assume. Do you mean to say you believe the place is cursed? It's been a year now since I came to Great Britain, but I'd only been in London a week before I started to notice strange feelings in myself. That didn't take long then. Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me. All around me are foreign faces.
Oh my god.
Staring at me. Staring at me. Laughing behind my back. I was sure people were talking about me. I started to become nervous about going outside. They were always staring at me, all the time, from dawn to dusk. So I shut myself away in my room, but even that didn't help. The fear wouldn't go away.
You must have been very lonely, having been away from your homelands for such a long time.
I've had to move a number of times, most recently to the room in Briar Road a week ago now. Yes, why did you choose there? It seems a little inconvenient. The rent is cheap. I have so little money. It appealed to me straight away. Of course, I asked why it was so affordable. The landlord just simply said, "The room is cursed!" Oops! He quickly tried to cover his mistake, but it was too late. So I told him, "If you have something to say, then say it. But if not, don't mention it in the first place!" Yes, well said. But it was true. It was all true. You mean, really is cursed then? Ever since I moved to that windowless hellhole, my sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I awake feeling as though I've been choked to death. And my waking hours, people are stabbed in front of me as I walk down the street. I'm Brad the killer, thrown in prison. Nobody wants to know me. I'm surrounded by scary, sinister spirits. If only there was someone, just one person at my side. Can no one find it in his or her heart to believe in me? Really no one at all? To believe? Yes, to believe. We're nearly there, I'm sure. Mr. Sholmes. Ah, me, Mr. Naruhodo. Pray, what can I do for you? It's about the case on the SS Booyah, if you recall. The Booyah. Ah, that case. The one with the snake! Well, yes. At that time, I was the suspect, but you believed in me and listened to my side of the story. And you helped us to investigate. I did, didn't I? Did I? Interesting. What I want to know is, why? Why did you believe me? I see, yes. You mean... because you were a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow found the victim in a locked room? Well, if you like, yes. I'm a little surprised that the answer requires explanation, my dear fellow. It is quite simple, really. You said, I didn't do it. But I could have been lying. Surely you must have had your doubts. You must have suspected me a little. I think perhaps you have misunderstood. I neither recall believing in you, nor in that which you were telling me. What? You see, the only things I believe in are those I choose to believe in.
What do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
I make up my own mind about what is to believe and what is not. If I should like to believe in something, I do. The circumstances can hang as far as I am concerned. But I could have betrayed your trust. In that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment. Nothing more. Betrayal of trust is an overused excuse, in my opinion. Meaning, whether or not someone should trust another is in final analysis down to oneself. It is a matter of whether or not one can trust oneself. Yes, he's right. He's right! Look, I'm a student of Arahodo, Esquire. Whether or not I can believe myself?
A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his client. I totally forgot that I had to do his voice. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself.
So right, Kazuma. Well, my dear fellows, it is time we were leaving, I believe.
Already?
Yes. Visiting hours are over. The guard will be here shortly to escort us out. There is a restaurant near here that serves excellent trout. Would you care to join me? Hey. Oh dear, there is... Oh, it's sorry.
There's never enough time, is there?
Mr. Natsume, if you'd like, in the trial tomorrow, I'd be happy to represent you.
Oh my god, his eyes.
Look, I'm student Mr. Naruto Esquire. As I said, I only experienced the British courtroom for the first time yesterday, and although the man I was representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something crucial. Something crucial? What to believe in? The defendant, justice, or the truth? How to believe, even. But I think I've finally worked it out. I've decided I must believe in myself above all else, to trust my instincts.
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo.
And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsume, are innocent of this crime. And it's imperative that we prove that in court. Look, student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. I'll fight for your innocence until the bitter end, with every weapon available to me. So I hope you permit me to represent you tomorrow. As I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who will listen to me in my native tongue. Of course, Mr. Natsume. Natsume. It would be fair to say, Mr. Naruhodo, that your mind was, in many ways, made up from the outset. You merely needed the events of today to fully realize it. Yes, I think you're right about that. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got there in the end.
He's not doing it so well, is he?
Miss Susato.
Yes?
would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court?
You bet. Ace set. As I said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant.
The shocking events of yesterday's trial still weigh heavily on my mind, but it's time to stop looking backwards. Kazuma believed in me, and Mr. Sholmes believes in me now too. So it's time that I learn to believe in myself. Sasuke-san has no one. He's all alone. It's my job to help him, to fight his corner, tomorrow, in the courtroom, with all the strength I can muster. To be continued. The perfect stop. Yo, new screen! Alright.
Oh, is it?
Well, maybe it's an old one. It's a different one. So, before I end the stream, I just want to say, like, I'm not going to be streaming Ace Attorney next week, because it's my birthday in well, less than a week, actually, now. And I'm going to be streaming for that instead, which would be if all goes to plan, or especially if not all goes to plan, it'll be the longest stream I've ever done, because I'll be streaming many games in succession of each other. And I'm going to tweet this tomorrow probably, but I can show it now because I have it all propped up with a visual I made earlier today to show you. So, bada bing! So, on December 9th, I'll be starting earlier than usual because this will take a very long time. I'll be streaming several games. Firstly Celeste, then Splasher, then Slay the Spy, then Hollow Knight, then Banjo, then Fury. And every single time I beat one of these games, I have to close the game, boot up Fall Guys, win a show of Fall Guys, and then I can do the next game. Now, at the best of times, this would probably take like 10 hours. Who knows what shenanigans will go wrong? Like, also, like, the completion things of the games are as specified in the note. I hope it's legible on the stream. But yeah, I hope to see you there. It'll be quite a stream. But that's on Friday. And then Ace Attorney will return maybe a week after that. We'll see. Yeah, I'll probably have a snack break at some point in there, maybe during Fall Guys or something. But yeah, it'll be alright. I'm most worried if I get tired during the stream. I'll hopefully have a good sleep beforehand. Yeah, so I mean that I'm not allowed to do that, I don't think. Anyway, we'll sort that when we get to it. No, I'd like to have it one unbroken stream. Although, if anything, I think my internet cutting out at some point is the real threat. Look, the longer I sleep, the longer it'll take to finish. Let me see. I don't see it. Unless it's... I see sleeping. Well, I see sleep, but I don't think that counts. In any case, regardless of what Snail is saying, I'll try to manage. But anyway, I'm going to close the stream out now. Thanks for being here. If you're watching this live or via VOD, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, etc, etc, etc. It doesn't matter what time it is, as long as you have a good time. As long as you're here, have a good time. And I will hopefully see you in the next one in 6 days. So, Bye!